Okay, well, in our quest for tolerance in our very diverse nation, we haven't got it right. We've either gone too extreme, like being tolerant of men wanting to pretend like they're women and taking all of women's stuff, or we've become too intolerant, asking that every state accept the killing of babies in the womb, or we have become complacent with not even being present at the debate table, or if you will, the discussion table. We've become completely absent. We've become cowards. We've been sitting behind our computer screens and wondering what is going on with the world while we do nothing. I will tell you that we are a diverse country and we should be tolerant of each other, but we can't let it go. We can't try so hard to be tolerant that we lose sight of common sense and our norms, or societal norms, that make us a successful country or successful people, to make us human beings. We are made men and women for a reason. Women are not lesser than men. Men are not lesser than women. We are created equal under God. We are all equal. That does not mean that we're made the exact same way. Men are one way, women are another way, and when we come together, it really works out well. But to force every state to do things based off of what the feds say is not tolerance. It doesn't represent or honor diversity in our country. We have so many different cultures and ideologies and backgrounds and ethnicities and God, the list goes on and on and on, that make each individual, each person very unique, very different. And when you get into a community in your state and you are with like-minded people and you talk to other people that are different than you learn new things, and new ideals form, new cultures form, and it can be a beautiful thing. It also can be a treacherous thing. We have to be careful as a society to not see something new and interesting and say, that's what we have to do next. That's what's going to make us be progressive. Because no, it's not. Women have worked for centuries, for example, to try to be on an even playing field with men. We've worked for centuries, for generations and generations, to try to get our own spaces and our own opportunities, because we know men are stronger than us. And now the society that we live in the United States and some other Western countries want to erase the female identity and take the female identity and trash it and turn it into something it was never intended to be. A man cannot just simply throw on a dress and some lipstick and become a woman. Our identity has been set in stone a lot longer than this new wave of progressivism, which is really idiotic. It's not progressive at all. In fact, it rips apart one of the most oppressed people in our nation's history. It takes away their identity, it takes away their opportunities, it takes away their spaces, it takes away, in a large sense, their equality, because women just cannot compete with men, especially with physical things. So the society is actually making it to where the oppressed people, the most oppressed people probably in our nation's history, especially if you're considering black women or Native American women in that. And this isn't victim Olympics either, it's just fact. You're oppressing them on purpose. You're allowing men to just come in and just take everything over a silly, asinine, very, very dumb, I'm sorry, it is, that a man can just become a woman by throwing on a dress and some lipstick. We'll never progress in society if we keep being tolerant of idiocy. We should be tolerant of diverse cultures. And if we were to respect the 10th Amendment, each state could run itself and run its own culture and vote and appreciate or experiment with its own diverse cultures and ideologies. But the feds want to take that over and take that all away from the states. This is why it's so important that the Roe versus Wade was overturned, and that hopefully other things will overturn too. Because it's not just one group think is the right way to think. If we're a diverse nation, let's act like one. Let's respect all diversity. Let's respect diversity of religion. Let's respect the Christian's right to say, I don't want to kill babies. tolerance is a good thing when it's seen in common sense. It's not good when it ignores all facts and reason just for the sake of being tolerant, or better yet, to push forward a political ideology onto its people, like the whole trans thing. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind if a man, I don't think it's super appropriate to appropriate somebody else's identity or a gender. But if a man feels like he has to wear a dress and lipstick to love himself, I'm not going to hold that against him. But to be so selfish to come along and say, hey, weaker sexed person, I'm going to take away your stuff now because I'm mentally ill and the whole world is too scared to stand up and say, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Let's be tolerant of each other. Let's be tolerant of diversity. Let's respect diversity. Let's respect diverse cultures and everything. But for the ideologies and the stupidity and the idiocracy, it's like the movie, the stuff like the trans movement and all that kind of stuff in regards to women and taking over women's spaces, we have to stand up to the stupid stuff. Okay, we have to. We have to be able to discern between the two. Diversity, good. Tolerant, good. Diversity, crazy, not good for our society. It subjective to it subjectifies and oppresses a whole group, half of the country. When you just let a man throw on a dress and lipstick and say, oh, I'm a woman now. You diminish everything that woman has gone through, is going through. You make it shallow and non-existent and worthless. So let's be tolerant, but let's not be so tolerant that we're stupid. Thank you. God bless.